What was your guys' first impression of Nelly? Because we all know Nelly is outside the box. I remember he would bring beers to practice at 10 a.m. or sometimes it'd be Crown in his cup. His dog would come piss on the court.
We're gonna get to your guys' version, right? So when
What
Nelly
version
first,
you guys get?
well, he came first, and he was hat down, couldn't see his eye. He was the GM. He was kind of like overseeing everything, and you could feel something's getting ready to go down, right? And that's when George was coaching. And then when he made that switch, I'm talking about like attention to detail. Notebook, taking notes, pop quizzes, like school.
Yes.
Like he had all his plays. And this is not to, compare generations, but Nelly's first training camp, I think Mitch was there. It was 28 days before the opening night.
That's right. Two a days.
2 a days,
Until the last day, 2 days. And I'm talking about tape, but it was emphasized on fitness, but also organization. So whether it be, in the NBA, you don't see presses. We do a press break because it also promoted passing. So we talked yesterday about Nelly teaching how to play together and then putting sets in later. Whether it be like Tim mentioned, 3 dribble limit, 5 pass. A lot of times our offense was, don't shoot the ball till you make 5 passes. And after that, figure it out. But Nelly was amazing when he's locked in, and you guys know that better than anybody, attention to detail. He was schooled by Red Auerbach. That's really where his teachings came from, and he was able to adjust to different generations.
So you wouldn't have been his favorite at the beginning then because you don't read or do tests well.
When he gave us that book, my shit stayed in the locker. I had to run the plays. I can't read and figure it out. I have to actually do it.
You guys had, the playbook?
Yeah, that didn't work for me, Matt. You're exactly right. I'm proud to say it.
Mitch,
just tell me what you need.
Your thought of Nelly, you're fresh out of college. What's your first impression of Nelly?
I never thought I was going to come to Golden State as well. Back then, when you were a senior, we had the Orlando Classic. And so every player that was supposed to be in the draft played against each other. So they would have 5 or 6 teams, and then NBA coaches will coach the team. Nelly coached me. And end up like when I went to that camp, they said I was going to get drafted between 21 and 25. After that camp, they said I was going to be the top 5. Nelly never said anything to me. He was the coach. I would see him in the airport, never said nothing. I've been in the same elevator with him. Like, no, just keep his head down. And so I never thought I was going to come to, Golden State. And so when the draft came, I thought I was going to go to Philly at number 3. But I think they did Charles Smith, and then they traded Hershey Hawkins for Charles Smith. And then Cotton Fitzsimmons was at Phoenix. And he said, if you get to 8, I'm taking you. Because I followed Cotton from junior college to Kansas State, and then he went to coach he was a general manager or something at Phoenix. So when Golden State drafted me, I was like, man, he never would say anything to me. I didn't know anything. But when I first got here, man, I can remember playing in the Olympics because we was on the Olympic team before we went to the camp. And so when we left the Olympics, I flew all the way back to Oakland, went straight to the gym, and Nelly was there. And so I played. I just wanted to get here and get acclimated. Nelly pulled me aside and say, "Man, you were terrible." Man, I say, "Man, I just took 19 hours on the flight, bro. I just came from Seoul, Korea. I just wanted to come and, He's like, "Man, you were terrible. You need a lot of work." I'm like, damn. It's like, man, this is gonna be tough. You know what I mean? So I remember, and I didn't get signed that year because I didn't even have training camp. So I had to go. I went to LA for a couple of days, went to Chicago for a couple of days, just started working out. And I didn't meet the team until Hawaii when we were playing the Lakers. And so, but Nelly was great because he put us in such good positions and he gave you confidence. You know what I mean? And he gave us confidence to say, do what you do. You know what I mean? Work on your stuff in practice. When you get to the game, do what you're supposed to do. Don't try nothing in the game. So he was really good at that.
Tim, did you turn your style up, down, keep it the same? When you first got here, what was your first impression and how did you guys bond?
Well, he just let me do what I just do. He just go ahead and just play. And he had the confidence.
What you first do when he tried to change your shot at first?
What, he tried to change my shot?
Yeah, you remember that?
No, I don't remember that. It's always been a knuckleball. it was always flat.
He tried to change it. Did he said, you know what? It was going in.
Yeah,
you shoot that thing.
yeah. I mean, if it goes in, why change it? You know. So, but I mean, when I first got here, I just had so much respect, and you know, I come from a situation where you always listen to the coach, always adhere to the coach, always gonna do what you can do for the coach, and whatever he says, you're gonna go out there and play. But y'all remember that summer league camp that him and Sash Sanders had at where was that at?
New Hampshire. Oh yes.
He drugged me like 2 days. He was like, "Son, you're not gonna make it. Son, you're not gonna make it. First of all, you too short. You know, you're not needed. You know." He was like, "You got to get quicker. I want you to do this. I want you to do that." I'm like, and then I go back to the room. I'm like, why the hell he draft me? Why you draft? Why you tell everybody this? Right. And I guess that's to like build your confidence up, make you understand. You know, you got to work harder.
Right.
I want you to think. I want you to go out there and understand what I'm saying. And he did that to me and Sharunas for 2 days, for like 10 days.
When did
straight.
Sharunas come into the picture?
Same year. He did that to me and Sharunas for 10 days out in New Hampshire. Sharunas, Sharunas was so frustrated. He was crying.
Yes.
And that's how frustrated.
That's his first introduction, not to cut you off, to the United States was
coming. And he didn't understand
the language. English either.
He didn't understand the language that well too. And then he's listening to Donnie Nelson, and Donnie Nelson is trying to tell him, and he was just getting frustrated. And he's like, "What am I doing wrong?" And man, we just sat in the room one day and we just talked, and we just said, "You know what, Ronnie, we gonna come in, man. We just gonna play, and we just gonna say fuck it." And I guess that's what he wanted us to do. And the next day, it was like the last 2 days, and you could tell the satisfaction on Nelly's face. He didn't say nothing.
Right.
He didn't say nothing to us, but you could tell the satisfaction on his face. I see you in October, late September. And then, but see, I tell guys today, y'all don't know about, we had 1 or 2 preseason games. Training camp was everything for 30 days, or 20, 25 days, right?
Yes.
2 a days was like 20 days. Your body's beat the fuck up. I mean, you beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, and it takes you through a mental psychic, especially if you're a rookie. You know, man, I'm tired. My body's tired. I'm ready to go home. I don't want to do nothing but sleep. You don't even want to eat.
No.
Yeah, that's how
you
it was.
You
didn't have time for that. Next thing you know, it's bling. You gotta get taped. You in that thing. You sit down like, man, where am I at, man? Then next thing you know, you start sweating. You know, all right, let's go. And then he started yelling at you. Everybody get yelled at.
Everybody.
And then but yeah, man, I that's where I think the confidence came. I think that's where the camaraderie came from all of us, and we all understood what we need to do to make this team work and to win games. And we was all on one page. I mean, everybody, Rod Higgins, Terry Tego, Tom Tolbert, everybody. Everybody.